let's go through the drivers then. So we're going to list the drivers,
Are we
obviously.
going 20 to 1.
20 to 1. Whose phone's that? Is that my phone?
Mate, your phone's in your hand.
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, it's not my phone.
It's in your hand.
Okay, we're going 20 to 1.
20 to 1.
Right, okay.
Go on. You start.
I'll start, okay. So in 20... Actually, I haven't got 20 drivers. I've got 21 drivers.
Have you brought in like a Liam Lawson?
So 21st... so I'll say 21st and 20th because then we'll be on the same one.
Right, okay.
21st, I've got Logan Sargent. I don't think
You've got rid of Logan?
No, I haven't got rid of Logan.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll stay till the end of the season, but I don't think he'll perform at all.
Wow.
And in 20th, I've got Magnussen.
Okay, I've got Magnussen in 20th.
Alright.
I would not be surprised if he...
No,
this was his last year.
He's going to have a poor season, isn't he?
He's going to have
I think Haas overall will have a poor
Haas
season.
will have a pretty poor season, but Magnussen will be the standout.
Yeah.
I reckon.
19th place.
19th.
I've gone with Zhou Guanyu.
I've gone with Zhou Guanyu.
Have you? Oh, look at this. What's going on here?
We did this separately.
We did do this separately.
Right. Well, this is not going to be great if we have all the same now,
Imagine. Why have you put Zhou there? Because in the first podcast we were talking about Zhou and you said you rated him and I said I didn't, but we've ended up putting him in the same place.
I do rate Zhou. However, I've got a gut feel like these are subject to change after pre-season, by the way.
These are pre-testing predictions.
I've gone off a gut feeling of where I reckon the cars are going to line up in performance this year.
Right.
And I have gone slightly biased towards my favourites as well.
Yeah. Well, you're bound to, aren't you?
But I've just got a feeling that Stakes Albert. That's going to be weird to keep saying. It's just not going to be amazing.
No.
I think it'll have a few good races, but I just feel like they're going to be, again, maybe on the fringes of points, but they just won't pick up points consistently, whereas I feel like other teams might. You
were saying as well not too long ago that they're the type of team that is always 11th, 12th.
They are 11th to 14th, not a 8th to 10th.
They can't break into the early points.
It seems a bit... Yeah, so that's why Zhou's 19th for me. Unfortunately.
I'd say the same reason for me as well. That's the same reason for me. I don't think he's a decent driver, but he's not anywhere near Bottas's capability, in my opinion. And I think if one driver is going to get points for for Sauber, it's going to be Bottas.
Yeah.
18th.
Hülkenberg.
Bro, I've gone with Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh my god.
Bro, what's going on? Well, I've got 21 drivers, so at some point it will change, but...
To be fair, I reckon, like... It's quite obvious with Haas.
Yeah.
Being down there, isn't it? Like, got rid of Gunther. The car was just not it last year. I don't see him turning it round. It's pretty easy to put their drivers down there in the bottom 3-4.
Yeah. Yeah, same for me. I think Hülkenberg will outscore Magnussen on a few occasions when they do score points, but I don't think Haas will make any strides past 18th place, in my opinion, for the drivers. 17th?
Sticking to my guns.
Go on then.
Alex Albon.
No! Come on!
Stick to my guns. I said it last week. I'm keeping to it this week. Don't get me wrong. No, Albon's a class driver. Don't get me wrong.
Bro.
But...
Bro.
I've got to stick to... I've got to stick to my word.
Oh.
It's a matter of principle. At this point.
So what you're saying is you've thought it over, realised you fucked up, but you can't go back on your word. So you Oh, no.
Yeah, no, we got to do it.
So you put Albon 17th?
Yeah, but I also think that Williams isn't going to be a phenomenal car
You don't think so?
No, I think that Williams is either going to be 15th to last or scraping the odd point here and there. That's what they'll be. They won't be a fringe team. They'll be either a back runner or on the points a little bit.
So what they were this year?
Yeah.
So I agree. I think their car will be slightly better. I think it'll be more on the...
track dependent car, I reckon.
Yes. I think it'll be more on the fringes of being with Alpine. But I reckon they won't make strides forward only because I don't think Logan Sargent is good enough.
I think some days it'll be Haas. And then some days it would be up there with, well, ahead of Stroll.
Speaking of Stroll, I put Stroll in 17th.
Jesus Christ. Is that because he's bad, or do you think Aston Martin are not making a
Bit
good
of
car?
both. I think Aston Martin fall down the pecking order. I think it was a flash in the pan 2023 for him.
I'm not sure they'll fall down that much.
I think they will, and I think Stroll will really struggle. I think he will really, really struggle. His confidence has been on the floor after this season, after Alonso wiped the floor with him. I think Fernando will still do well when, obviously, we'll come on to that, but I think Stroll will really struggle. I don't think he'll score many points. Because the thing is, if Aston Martin dropped down anywhere from where they were, Stroll was only getting, 8th, 9th, 10th anyway, wasn't he? By the end of the season. If they drop behind Alpine... Even if they just drop behind Alpine, right? Stroll's going to be 11th, 12th, 13th most races, isn't he? So the likelihood that he picks up enough points to finish ahead of everyone else I'm going to talk about is, I think, unlikely. I think he's going to struggle, personally.
I can see it. I think he'll do a little bit better than 17th, though. Although I hate the guy. Kind of want it to be yours now.
Right, 16th place.
Sargent.
So you've okay. To be fair to you, then, at least you've gone with Sargent and Albon close.
No, I had to go with them close.
yeah.
There'll be like a point.
People already commented on the short that we posted about your Sargent takes, saying nah, mate, you're a bit deluded there.
Allow it. Hey, there'll be a point in it, you know.
So Albon will dominate the whole season, then Sargent will win one race and be 1 point ahead.
No. Sargent's gonna be ahead of Albon on head-to-heads.
Okay, right. Okay.
That's why he's got to be ahead in constructors. There.
16th, I've gone with Bottas.
Okay.
Same reason as before. I think Sauber will struggle. But
yeah.
But
that's fair.
I think he'll do better than Joe.
15th?
Liam Lawson.
So you brought Liam Lawson in. Visa.
He doesn't know. Where have I brought Liam Lawson in? I brought Liam Lawson into Visa Cash Up RB, aka Toro Rosso.
Perez is going mid-season.
Because I think I'll have to explain later, because I can't explain it now because you don't know where I've put Checo, Daniel, Yuki.
That's it.
So I'll have to explain later what I've done and my
bold
reasoning.
Call. I think we're just going to see the same drivers again over here.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you were the one that... How has this happened, right?
I think there'll be rumours, but I just don't think anyone's going to have the bollocks to do it.
I've got one reason why I think it will happen.
There's only one drive that I can see it happening.
Yeah. But I have... Okay, right. You get... Who's 15th for you?
Bottas.
Alright, so you put Bottas very close to where I put him.
Yeah, I think Bottas is a driver that if a track suits him and he's happy with the car, he'll pick up points. He will get some points in there.
He'll be scraping the fringes of the top 10. Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
14th?
Stroll.
Alright, so you put Stroll 14th. So it's not that far from where I put him.
No, I didn't put him as far down as you, but he's shit.
There could be a couple of points in that from 14th to 17th. So
I think it could be quite a close year. Like you're gonna have, I think you might have 2 or maybe 3 separate packs. You'll probably have your bottom load, a few mids, all quite close, and then your top lot.
Yeah.
I think they'd be quite close in packs.
I put Esteban Ocon 14th for Alpine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think he'll be just an average year for Ocon. I don't think he'll do anything too spectacular. I don't think he'll do anything too
if Alpine
bad.
provide a car, he's been at that team for what you would have thought that he should be team leader, and he's not ahead of Gasly. Does it get to a point where he's not ahead of his teammate? He's still 14th. Does it get to a point where Alpine need to start to consider different drivers?
No, I don't think so. Only because the way I view Ocon is that he's a good enough driver that he will consistently get you results. He will. You put him in any car, he will.
I don't think he'll consist. I think he just comes up on the odd race to get good points.
That's what you need, though.
And then he lives off that for about 5 races.
Yeah, that's what you need, though.
Like, he gets a good podium at Monaco. What did he do after that? I can't remember.
He finished with quite a few points. He wasn't too bad.
He wasn't awful, but I just feel like he has a flash. Everyone's on a hype. He's done well, blah, blah, blah. Next 5 races, he just lives off it.
That's fair enough. I think it'd just be an average season for Ocon. Maybe if you put 14th.
Stroll was
14th, you said Stroll. Yeah. 13th then.
Ocon.
So there we go. That's what we were talking about. Fair enough. I've put Alex Albon. I think he'll have an amazing season.
Do you want to just swap Albon and Sargent?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Now, everyone's going to be like, well, you put Albon 13th and Sargent 21st, so what have you done there?
You just... this is Sargent hate, you know what?
It's not.
Get on at him, because this is Sargent.
It's not Sargent hate. I like Sargent. I think Sargent will score a few points. I think that
is it because he's the only American?
Yes. No. I think that pack 12th to 21st will be quite close. Within 50 points. Within 50 points easily.
It will be close.
So I think Albon will obviously be consistent enough on the fringes of the points to pick up enough to get so far at the top of that pecking order that it looks like he's absolutely dominated Stroll. When really he probably won't. They might be close some races. In fact, Sargent might outscore him in some races. But I don't think over the course of a 20-odd race season he is going to be anywhere near to Albon by the end.
Yeah, he will.
No.
Yeah.
So 13th Alex Albon for me. Who's yours?
I said Ocon, man.
Oh shit, yeah.
You need to
12th.
Need to click on.
Sorry, 12th.
Click on. You go 12th because you'll just ask me anyway at the end of it. Like, what's your 12th?
Pierre Gasly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've gone with Yuki.
Ooh, Yuki. Okay.
No, it's difficult because...
So you think Daniel will finish ahead of Yuki?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's difficult for me.
Yeah.
Because I know all these rumours and everything that's going on around Visa and Red Bull.
Visa cash up.
However, I think the car will be better.
Yeah.
This year. However, I don't think they'll nail it straight off. Obviously, you've got all these rumours that they're using all of Red Bull's old stuff.
Yeah.
However, it's old.
So you think teams will make strides forward enough for it to not?
Yes. I think they'll make strides forward enough this season. But as the seasons go on, Alpha Tauri, Visa, whatever the fuck they're called.
Visa Alfa Rosso.
Will have more there to make bigger leaps forward. I just don't think we'll see a massive leap this year yet. I think we'll see a step forward, but not a jump.
Uh-huh. All right, yeah, that's fair enough. I agree. So you put Yuki 12th. Because in 11th, I put Daniel Ricciardo.
Ooh.
For the same reasons, yeah, I think they will be the 5th quickest team, only because they're using a lot of parts from last year's Red Bull.
I don't know if they'll be fit. I reckon they'll be joint 5th.
I think they'll...
I think it'll be between them and... I think it'd be close between them, Aston Martin, and Alpine.
They'll have a I need to change one around actually. They'll have an Alpine. I think they'll be in the battle with Alpine, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. But I think it'll be so close. I think they'll just all be taking points off each other. That 11th to 21st will all be taking points off each other constantly.
Oh god, yeah.
And I think it'll be so close, especially between Alpine and Toro Rosso. These are Tauri Alpha, yeah, team. But yeah, who have you got in 11th?
Pierre Gasly.
All right,
So
so
again, like we've gone all roughly the same, one up, one down, roughly, haven't we?
Yeah,
all the way.
We've
through.
agreed mostly.
We have. You can see who's where.
Yeah.
It's difficult because we've not seen testing, we've not seen any form of car performance. This is just going off what their performances last year, what the cars that we think that they'll bring.
News, obviously AlphaTauri moving to Milton Keynes and
so it's a difficult one to do.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I enjoy it.
It is fun. We'll obviously do testing after testing,
updated ones,
and those will be. I think those will heavily disagree on, because I think obviously then you've got the element of
you can never see a car's true potential in testing.
You can't. It's why I think we'll disagree, because I think one of us will go closer to their performance in testing for some of the cars. Some of us will think they'll fall off.
Yes.
Yeah. 10th place.
Danny Rick.
Oh, so we've basically just done the same list, bar Liam Lawson, who I've threw in that mid pack.
Yeah, Liam Lawson's a bit of a throw in, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, but I think Danny Rick would be. I don't know. I think he's gonna have a slow start this year. Get a feeling, but I think we might see a Danny Rick of old. And then I would not be surprised to get announced. Maybe in Vegas, I reckon. It just seems like a Danny Rick, a Red Bull thing to do. Vegas. Danny Rick joins Red Bull again. At the end of the year. I think he'll have a good year.
I think he'll have a decent year, but I don't think he's going to be... sorry to all the Danny Rick fans out there.
I'm a Danny Rick fan.
So sorry to you.
How can you hate that smile, man?
I love him so much. He's great. But I don't think Danny Rick will have the year that everyone thinks he will, because I think I put him 11th, right?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. And I haven't said Yuki yet. So I think Yuki will finish ahead of Danny Rick.
Well, yeah. Obviously, seeing as you have not said him yet.
Yes. So here's where my Red Bull conundrum comes in. Because in 10th place, I've put Checo Perez. Because
Yuki in the Red Bull.
I personally...
That's a recipe for disaster.
Hear me out. I think Checo Perez... Okay, so here's the thing. I think this year will be mad close. Mad close, right?
I think it could be a close year, yeah.
I think McLaren will be closer to Red Bull. I think Mercedes will be closer to Red Bull. I think Ferrari will be about on the fringes, where they were last year, right? That's my prediction anyway, or it's at least what I'm hoping for. So, going with that, where do we see ourselves? Well, if they keep developing that car in the direction of Max's driving style, Checo will continue to struggle, as we saw at the end of last season, right? He will. Therefore, I think halfway through the season, he is going to be dropped, because Red Bull are going to need to secure the Constructors' Championship, right?
Yeah.
It's not like last year where he could still pick up second in the drivers, even though Red Bull are miles ahead. This time, I think it's going to be different. But guess what? I think halfway through the season, they're going to have to pick between Yuki Tsunoda or Daniel Ricciardo. And Yuki Tsunoda, I think, will be having a better season than Daniel Ricciardo.
That's fair.
So, maybe not the best choice for Red Bull. Maybe they don't want to pick Yuki and put him in that Red Bull. But I think they're going to have to.
I don't know.
Therefore, I think Yuki Tsunoda goes to Red Bull mid-season. And that's why Checo is 10th, because he's scored enough points to kind of be...
You see, I like it.
there.
Because I am a heavy advocate of Checo not being in that car.
You are.
However, I feel like it's going to be different. I don't think Checo's going to perform this year. I don't. But I do think, because Red Bull get rid of their drivers, but all their drivers have been young. I've just got a different feeling, because Perez is that. more experienced. I think they want Danny to have a full year and put him in there. I think Daniel Ricciardo is their first choice to replace Perez, and I think that's in their minds straight away now.
I think it is now.
But they don't want. I don't think they'll want Yuki, because Yuki's hot-headed, shouts at anyone and everyone on the radio, and I don't think Christian Horner wants to deal with that.
Imagine Yuki dive bombing Max Verstappen into the first corner.
He would do that. He doesn't care, which is good for us.
Yeah,
I'd love that. But I don't think Red Bull want that, because Yuki's a wild card, isn't he?
I agree. That's the only thing in my mind that doubts my prediction here. But I think Daniel, as much as I want him to have a good season, I don't think he'll have as good a season as people are making out him to have. And I think that'll force their hand. Obviously, if I turn out to be wrong and Checo underperforms and Daniel's having a great season, then by all means, Daniel will straight away go in that seat, because I think Red Bull's mindset, as you were saying, I think at the moment is they want Daniel to replace Checo.
Well, again, that's what's good about pre-season, that we get to have a feel as to where the drivers are as well over winter. Like,
yeah, exactly.
how they are over winter, and see what they're like in the car. See who moans, see who doesn't.
Nah. Who have you put? Have I already asked you about 10th?
Yeah, that was Ricardo.
Okay.
The conversation we've just been having for the last 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, 9th.
I've gone with Piastri.
Ooh, okay.
Not to do. I think I still think this will be close. Again, I don't know if it'll be 11th down to 20th or 21st in your case. That'll be close. I think it would be more of a 14th down to 20th, 15th down to 20th in a pack that's close. And you're looking at your 13th up to maybe your 8th being close.
Yeah.
And then your top lot just a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
So I do think it'll all be close, with Piastri being in more of that mid pack instead of the top lot. Only because, don't get me wrong, I loved Piastri last year.
Yeah.
I hope he has a great year again this year.
Yeah.
But my issues when I saw Piastri, when it's a track that he knows and he likes, he'll be up there with Norris.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he's fighting in the scraps, not even picking up fringe points. Like, look at Texas. What happened in Texas?
Yeah, McLaren fell off though, didn't they? They had
No, because not in Texas. Norris is battling for first, whereas Piastri is down in 14th.
McLaren had problems with the car. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Texas. That was
wasn't
Mexico,
Texas.
wasn't it?
Mm.
Mexico, they had problems with it.
Do you see what I don't?
Yeah, he's still inexperienced though,
Exactly.
isn't he?
That's the thing. I'm not hating on Piastri. I love him, but
No.
I just think that little bit inexperience will still shine through this year.
Yeah.
But I think that's easily enough for him to stay in the car, and I hope he does, because he's a good driver. And I think gain a bit more experience this year, and I'll probably boost him up for next year.
Fair enough. I've gone with Fernando Alonso.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think Aston Martin will be fighting Alpine, but I don't think. I think Stroll will let the side down. I think Fernando will do his magic as he always does, and he'll be there.
Yeah.
Who have you put 9th? Have I already asked you that? Shit. I did, yeah. You said Oscar.
Yeah.
8th.
Why-
Sorry. Where I forget.
You go first.
8th, I've gone with Yuki Tsunoda. Half
Yuki's
in-
high then.
half in the Visa Cash app,
You've got
half in the Red Bull.
You've got high expectations for Yuki this year then.
I think he'll surprise us.
I hope he has a good year. I like Yuki. He's a fun driver.
Yeah, he's got a trajectory that is. So I look at some of the drivers that people are saying, maybe they're good enough, maybe they're not. Logan Sargent, Zhou Guan Yu, examples. They've kind of got plateaued trajectories at the moment. Logan maybe is a bit on the up at the end of Abu Dhabi, but I think Yuki every single season improve, and I think
kind of like a Norris.
kind of like a Norris. Yeah, not as good as Norris, but
No.
he's He's up there.
You can see a steady progression every year. Can't
Yeah, yeah. Yuki, I can see.
sorting his head out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. John, are you gonna ask me about my 8th? Or you just
I
forget
thought
about
you
that?
would say. I thought you already said.
Oh.
No, yeah. What's your eighth? What's your eighth?
It's Fernando.
All right. Okay.
So
yeah.
it's around you. Same sort of idea. I don't think he'll be up there again this year. I don't think Aston Martin will provide a car for that this year. But I think he'd be at the top of your mid pack.
He'll be there.
Yeah.
An odd podium here and there, sort of thing.
And then retire.
You think he'll retire?
I hope he does.
Bloody hell! You got something against Alonso.
I've not got something against it. I think what's annoying me is the hype that everyone puts around him.
It's because he's good. Last season proved it.
He had a good year, but I don't think he's phenomenal.
You deluded.
Yeah, I am. But it's my opinion.
7th.
And what?
I've gone Oscar Piastri.
Oh yeah, so okay.
I think McLaren will be there.
McLaren will. You think similar to me though? He's not going to be.
I think his experience will
Let him down
against the likes
Norris
of
and everyone else.
Norris and the rest of the Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull drivers.
Yeah.
But he will be there. He will be fighting for podiums regularly, and I think he'll have a good season.
I think he'll pick up a podium.
I think we'll see that gradual trajectory like Norris did. I think he'll be on the up this year.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone with Sainz.
Oh, Carlos. Why?
Carlos.
What's happened to your boy?
Now,
Let me say that.
it's Carlos next for you. 7th, Carlos. I think I've just got in my head Ferrari and Carlos in particular. Might have a bit of a shaky year in terms of your DNFs, your reliability, and everything like that.
Ferrari strategy.
Maybe. I don't know. I've just got this gut feeling. I always go with my gut. He's just gonna be a bit. Like, I think it's gonna be close from 7th up to 4th.
Yeah.
Or 3rd. But I think Carlos would be at the tail end of it.
That's fair enough. I've sort of thought the same. I put Carlos in 6th.
So do you think that there will be a gap between Oscar and Carlos?
Not a big gap.
No, but like a gap to say Carlos is in the front pack, Oscar's a little bit behind the front pack. Is that what you would?
I think I'd...
Because for me, the front pack starts at Carlos. For me.
Yes, the front pack starts at Carlos for me as well.
So Alonso is an 8th for me, and he's not part of that front pack.
Yes. I think Yuki's in that front pack, but...
Do you think Yuki's in the front pack?
But I think he's only...
But is he in that because he's in the Red Bull?
Yes. He's 8th because he had half season and a visa cash up.
Right, okay.
So can't be asked with that. Toro Rosso.
So you think half a year Yuki's going to do well in that Red Bull then?
Yeah, I think he'll do alright. I think he'll be fighting around the
Do you reckon he
lower
picks up
end.
some podiums?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he'll be fighting Oscar mostly, but I think he'll break into that Carlos.
Okay.
Yeah, the edge of that. But I put Carlos 6 for the same reason. I don't think Ferrari... I've got the gut feeling as well. I don't know why, but I think if anyone's going to challenge Red Bull, I don't see it being Ferrari. You said you do, though.
I do see it
Last
being
podcast.
Ferrari. However, I have seen some more news this week.
Is it swayed you?
In around the cars, and I have been swayed a little bit from what I've been reading and seeing.
What's the news?
Allow it.
What was the news?
I've put it. I've been reading up more on Mercedes this year.
Okay. So you've kind of seen,
and I'm getting a little bubble.
He's got a little bit excited.
I've got a fizz.
He's got a fizz.
Yes.
His Ferrari hype has dissipated and the Mercedes has started.
See, with Ferrari, I get so hyped about them.
Yeah.
But then there's a thing in the back of my head, and I'm like, they're gonna fuck it up again.
Yeah.
They always do.
They always do.
So if I don't let myself get too hyped about it, they can never let me down.
Yeah, fair enough.
They can only do better.
That's true. So who have you got in 6th then?
going sixth. Checo Perez.
Oh, okay, so you won't do too badly.
It is bad for Red Bull, let's be honest.
Yeah. But it's not as poor as I've put him.
But I have got a very shake-up top 7, and I think it's going to be a great battle between them all.
Yeah.
But Perez ain't the driver.
No.
For Red Bull to have 1-2's solid pairing, that's it. Like, you look at when Mercedes had Lewis and Valtteri, you could clearly see Bottas was good enough to pick up your thirds, your seconds. Perez ain't that. And then Max and Lewis are obviously your top.
I think, yeah. I think for 2021 and 2022, Perez worked, even if he wasn't...
No, he was more of a 4th, 5th place, though. Still, Bottas.
Yeah.
Bottas, you went into a race, you were thinking, oh, okay, Lewis will win this, but you know Bottas will be 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
You go into a race with Perez and Max, you know, Max going to win this. But where's Perez going to be?
Yeah.
Always the question is, where is Perez going to be? And that is not good if you've got a dominant car.
Yeah, because if something happens to Max...
if something happens to Max,
Perez
is Perez going to be your race winner?
Yeah.
No.
I think Perez worked for 2021 and 2022, even though he wasn't 2nd all the time, and he was kind of 4th, 5th, because I think Red Bull then weren't focusing too heavily on the Constructors' Championship. No. Remember 2021, 2022?
It was literally pure.
It was Max versus Lewis. They were like, okay, Mercedes have definitely wrapped the Constructors up, but we need to win this drivers with Max.
Yeah, it was.
And so Checo not always
Perez
being
worked
there.
well in that.
Yeah, he works well because he was there to pick up the points. The pressure wasn't on him, but he was there to consistently pick up the points when they needed him to. 2022 was the same. I think if they started out as they did at the end of the season, I think it might have been a different story. But at the start of the season, like we saw in 2021, it was Max versus Charles, and they needed to push Max to become the drivers' champion. 2023, we maybe started to see a bit of the cracks. If Perez doesn't perform and the cars are a little bit closer, Red Bull now know they have the potential to win the constructors year in, year out. They need Perez to be there, and if they're not, and if the cars are closer to him, like McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes,
he's under pressure.
He's under pressure now, yeah, especially after the scrutiny of last season.
Who's your 6th?
See, you've done it now. I already said Carlos.
Oh, did you do that first?
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, we were on about my car since 7th.
On to 5th. I've gone with George Russell.
Oh, you've put George further down than me, and I hate George.
Really?
Yeah, I've got Norris.
What? You've got Lando Norris?
Yeah, I don't think that McLaren. I think you're gonna have a McLaren and Ferrari. And then Mercedes and Red Bull will be further up. And I think that McLaren is going to go through a patch again. I've just got a feeling it's going to be again. That the first 3-4 races, they're going to be fringe points.
You think so?
I've just got a feeling. And I hate having that feeling. But they do it every year now. Like... I don't know, they just never seem to turn up with a car. And I think that's what's going to let Norris down. And I think Mercedes and Ferrari will have a slightly better car than McLaren at the start, and then McLaren might overtake. I think it could be a good battle between them, but I just feel like, from what I've seen from Mercedes, from what I expect, I think that they'll be a step in front this year. Same with Red Bull.
That's fair enough. However,
although it's going to be close again. No, I'm not saying Norris is going to be like 50 points behind 4th or whatever. It's a matter of inside 10 points.
Yeah, I think this will be McLaren's year. I think this is where they don't get it wrong at the start. I think this is the one.
I hope you're bloody right, but
I think this is the one. I believe. I put George 5th just because I didn't know where to put him. Like, I think
I can tell you where to put him.
I think he's...
Off the grid.
No, to be fair to George, I think he's a good driver. I don't think he'll beat Lewis.
No,
but
no chance.
I think he'll score enough points. You score podiums, might score a win. I think he'll finish 5th. Who's your 4th?
George.
Fair enough. I've put Charles Leclerc.
Okay, so we both agree Charles is...
Yeah, he's got that extra something special, doesn't he,
He
Charles?
does, Charles. Especially in quali, I feel.
Yeah.
He can pull a lap out, can't he, Charles?
Pull a bloody lap. How many poles did he have last season? Was it like 5 or something? Like in that Red Bull dominance. Like, yeah, the race pace wasn't there for the Ferrari.
He had Baku. Vegas.
There was more. There was a few sprint races as well that he had pole on.
Yeah. What else was there?
I don't know. There was a few more.
Anyway, he got poles.
He's one lap pace is good. One lap pace is good.
Although, it wasn't Carlos on pole at Monza, or was that Charles?
I don't remember. There's so much happened. There's too many races nowadays. Can't remember half of them. Who have you put 3rd then, getting into this podium spots? You put Charles 3rd.
I did put Charles 3rd. Only because he has that little something special about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's just got that little... He's just got a mistake in him, which annoys me about Charles, but he's got the pace to easily be up there with the likes of Max and Lewis.
You think if Ferrari pulls something out of the bag, it will be Charles to pick it up?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. 3rd place, I've gone with Sir Lewis Hamilton. Deluded. I think he'll win a few races this year.
No, I think he will, for sure.
I think he'll score a lot of podiums. I think he'll show his consistency, his class. I think he'll show how good of a driver. I think he'll prove the doubters wrong again for another year running by not being in the best car. But yeah, I just think he's. I just think the battle. I think the battle will be close. But I think he will be in that title battle halfway through the season. But I don't think by the end he will be anywhere near who I've put in 1st place.
Anywhere near the 1st place.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think he'll be battling for 2nd, but I think we'll see another.
Do you reckon you'll have a Mercedes drop off?
Not a Mercedes drop off, a Red Bull improvement, like how we did in 2022, where it was Charles and Max till about halfway through the season, and then the Red Bull just went.
Okay.
That's how I personally think it'll go.
Alright, what about 2nd then?
Where have you put 2nd?
I've just asked you.
If you put I've put Lando Norris in 2nd place.
I guess that one.
Lando, fantastic driver. I think that McLaren will be up there, and I think the trajectory for Lando is to be this. I think I couldn't put him anywhere other than 2nd because I think his trajectory is up and up and up and up.
I agree. I fully agree, and I hope Lando is up there. I don't know. I've just got a niggly feeling about that McLaren this year.
Yeah, you do. Well, you put him 4th, didn't you? Or 5th?
5th. So I think it's a great year.
Okay, so you're putting off telling me who's in 2nd place here.
2nd, I've gone with
No, come on.
Super Max.
No, you haven't.
Super Max.
Stop it. No.
I have.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm never backing down.
Oh.
Come on, I want a year. I want 2021 back, and I want Lewis revenge. That's what I want.
It's not gonna happen.
It will.
It's not happening.
It will if you believe. I believe. Come on. Come on.
Well, everyone knows I put Max Verstappen first.
And everyone knows I put Sir Lewis Hamilton first.
Yeah.